accounts of people who have had their relatives disappear into the camps, and we don't really know what's happening to them.
Can I ask you why people are kneeling, blindfolded and shaven and being led to trains in modern China? What is going on there?
I do not know where you get this videotape.
The Uyghurs are a Turkic Muslim group. They live in the northwestern territory of Xinjiang in China, a region that is rich in resources like oil, natural gas, and copper. And it is a region that is also important to China politically because it was briefly independent in the 1940s. And since 1949, since it's been under Chinese control, there were various clashes and incidents of terrorism, both in Xinjiang and in other parts of China, either attributed to or claimed by Uyghur extremists. It seems to be that the Chinese authorities see Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities that are in Xinjiang, that they basically see them all as potential separatists or terrorists. So if you go to Xinjiang, it looks like somewhere that is in the middle of a civil war. There are checkpoints everywhere. There's armed police, military.
To be in Xinjiang means being checked every day, multiple times a day. When you go to a market, when you drive a car, when you take a train, even your smartphone is checked.
It is difficult to report there because you will be followed by state security agents that basically intimidate you and intimidate anybody that you try to speak to.
Why can't we ask some questions?
These police stations everywhere and, cameras, so many cameras.
The BBC has seen new, detailed satellite analysis of dozens of suspected camps across Xinjiang.
Wow, look at this. It's like a city.
The Chinese government claims that these camps are vocational training centers and that people are not forced to go to them, that the detainees in them are not detainees but students.
Like most boarding school, students here take classes, play sports, and do all kinds of extracurriculum activities.
And they learn, marketable, employable skills, and they learn Chinese, and they come out, better off.
This is what it wants the world to see.
But we know from accounts from people who have been inside the camps that these camps are de facto prisons, and people have to go in them. They don't have a choice. They're separated from their families. And inside, they undergo basically political indoctrination. So that can include having to sit for hours and listen to speeches by Xi Jinping, or singing patriotic songs, or listening to lectures about the party. We also have heard of cases of torture. So people being strapped to something called a tiger chair for hours.
Each time I was electrocuted, my whole body would shake. I begged them to kill me.
There have also been reports of forced medication, forced sterilizations.
Mothers, fathers, siblings and lovers, all that disappeared. They're Uyghurs flung into Chinese camps. Their relatives say it's ethnic cleansing.
This is a crime against humanity, crime against the Uyghur people.
The US Commission on International Religious Freedom believing it might meet the legal criteria for genocide.
So sorry to interrupt, but according to your own local government statistics, the population growth in Uyghur jurisdictions in that area has fallen by 84% between 2015 and 2018. 84%.
That's not right. I said,
Well,
I gave you an official figure. You ask me, I gave you this figure as a Chinese ambassador.
People have recently been talking about whether or not we can finally say that this is genocide. And what human rights investigators say is that this is not a genocide in terms of, in one go or in a condensed period of time, people being exterminated, but it's a slow process of erasing an identity and a culture and a population. Because we've seen things like forced sterilizations and IUDs being put into women and intermarriage being very much encouraged. It seems that there is some effort to reduce the population. And so some people would say that now should amount to genocide.